everyone, thanks for taking a minute to grow. My name is Dustin Cohn, and today we're going to be talking about physiological leaf roll. So what is this? So this happens to tomato plants in times of high heat and when you sometimes have inconsistent watering. So on this tomato plant, you can kind of see what it looks like. So this is when the leaves of your tomato plant start to roll upwards. This isn't a disease or like any type of thing. It's just due to the environment itself. So the kind of nice thing about this is that you shouldn't really worry about it affecting the yields of your tomatoes. It's just more of it is an overall appearance thing. So what you can kind of do to help this is make sure you're staying on a consistent watering schedule. So this year I usually deal with leaf roll a lot. So this year I'm making sure to stay on a nice consistent watering schedule. So that means you're like making sure to water in the morning at the same time with the same amount of water, or watering in the evening time, and making sure you're giving your plants the same amount of water each time. Because when you do that fluctuation of that different amount of water at different timings throughout the day, that stresses the plant out, which just causes the leaf to curl. Another thing that this shows is that when that leaf is curling, it is trying to lessen the amount of surface area because it is trying to retain water throughout the heat of the day. So that's why sometimes you see your plants really curled up during the heat of the day, and then they start to unfurl at nighttime because it starts to get cool. So it's kind of a thing that you shouldn't have to really worry about in the garden. It hasn't been hit by a herbicide. It doesn't have a disease or infection. It is just your tomato plant coping with the hot weather, which is what we've been experiencing a lot in Iowa for our weather and growing tomatoes. And this has been something I've been dealing with the past couple years because it's kind of more of a prevalent thing, especially when you kind of fluctuate when you water and with the heat. So just making sure to kind of help not having to deal with this a lot is making sure you're staying on a consistent watering schedule, making sure you're watering at the same time with the same amount of water each time. This should help to lessen the amount of physiological leaf curl you see. So thank you for taking a minute to grow and learning about physiological leaf curl.